Hey, this is Jamey from Stegmaier Games, and I will talk a little bit as the video starts to load. I think you saw Biddy there very briefly on camera until he left to do other things. And we are good. We're live. We're going. This is Jamey. I'm here to play a round of Rolling Realms. So I'm going to play a full game over the next 3 days of Rolling Realms, starting from scratch here. I don't know why I held that up. Starting from scratch here. And and that'll be the last, I think, round or game of Rolling Realms I'm going to play live in 2021. I'm going to take a little break next week and come back in early January. So we are playing with Scythe, Euphoria, and Charterstone. As you know, if you're in this group, Rolling Realms is a game where all players have the same 3 realms. One player will roll 2 dice, and each player will use one of those dice in one realm, the other die in another realm, and then if they're able to create a die, they can use it in the 3rd realm. You can't activate the same realm twice on the same turn. In Scythe, you're doing kind of what you do on Scythe's player mat, which is you can use a number to cross off a top row slot and get the resource shown there, or you can spend a resource and a specific die to cross off a bottom row number, or if you do a top row, say I do this 2, I roll a 2 is rolled, I use that 2 to gain a heart. I can then right away, if I have a pumpkin, you ignore the number. Right away, if you have a pumpkin, you can cross off that bottom row to gain a star. You're trying to gain as many stars as possible when you play Rolling Realms. In Euphoria, you're going to cross off a number and then add up the sum of all numbers in that area. There are 2 areas in Euphoria to gain a benefit based on the sum of that area. So if a 1 is already crossed off and I cross off a 6, 1 plus 6 is 7. That's in the 4 to 10 range, so I would gain a star. The nice fun thing about Euphoria is if the dice, the rolled dice, without any manipulation, show a pair, you can write down both of those numbers or cross off both of those numbers from each of these areas with only actually using one of those dice. You get the benefits from both of those areas. Last, in Charterstone, you can use a number to cross off a building. What do I call them here? Yeah, I'll call them buildings. You cross off a building and you gain the resource directly below it. Let's see if I can get the camera to focus on this card as I show it. There you go. And then when you do that, you look at the other rolled die and you write down that number in the crate. Because later in the game, you can, instead of using the number up here, you can use a single number to cross off all crates containing that number, and you will gain 1 star for each of those crates. I'll show you more examples of this as we actually play. I'm going to turn the camera down so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. That should work. And let's jump right in with turn 1. Feel free to join me to play along today. I will post this video on YouTube later if you don't get the chance to play along with me now. We have a 3 and a 4 with the first roll. 3 and 4 are special because they add up to 7. And if you ever have a 7, you can use 2 coins to copy one of these dice. However, I don't have 2 coins yet. Maybe I can get them in the middle of my turn. We will see. I would lean against doing anything inside yet because I have no resources to do both the top and bottom row on the same turn. Euphoria, pairs are better early in the game. Let's go with Charterstone. Yeah, let's put a 4 in Charterstone. We'll gain a heart, and I'll write down the 3 down here. And let's put the 3 over here in Euphoria to gain a coin. Now with that coin, I could create a 1 value die for Scythe. Yeah, why not? Let's create a 1 value die. And so cross that off, and I get another coin right away. And if I have a heart, I get to ignore that number down there. Right now, I'm only looking at if I have a heart. I can spend that heart to also cross off the bottom row and get a star. So I'll go ahead and do that. All right, turn 2. A 6 and a 3. Okay, this is interesting. I like consistent numbers down in Charterstone, so why not use the 6 here so I can write down another 3? Because with a single die later in the game, a single 3, I can cross off all 3s in Charterstone and gain a heart for each of them. So getting a coin over there. Now I need to actually use that 3. I haven't actually used the 3 yet. I really might as well, actually I could use it in Scythe. I could use it in Euphoria since I can't get doubles there anymore. I am inclined to put that in Euphoria since I can't benefit from the doubles, and I'll get a coin from that. I don't want to do anything else in Scythe yet, though. So let's move on to turn 3, a 2, and a 4. Would have liked another number and a 3 if I could, but maybe that'll come back around later. I also would love doubles, but I don't have that yet. So in Euphoria, so if I do the 4 over here in Scythe, I don't have a pumpkin. If I do the 2, I also don't have a pumpkin. So I need to get a pumpkin. So let's put the 2 over here to get a pumpkin. I'll write down the 4 there. I'll get a pumpkin. I'll use the 4 in Scythe. I gain a coin. And now I have to spend that pumpkin to cross off the bottom row and get a star for Scythe. If you're joining in, feel free to let me know if you have any questions or if you're playing along. I'd love to hear what you're doing today. I guess I could create a die. I haven't done anything in Euphoria. I could create a 1 value die, which I will do over here just to get a star. Because 1 plus 3 is 4. That falls into this range. Turn 4. A pair of 1s, just as I crossed off 2 1s in Euphoria, one in Euphoria, I rolled 2 1s. Fate is telling me something there. Let's put one of the 1s over here in Charterstone. And get a pumpkin. Unfortunately, yeah, I kind of wasted that opportunity in Euphoria, but that's okay. I'll cross off. I'll use the other 1 there to get another star. And do I want to do anything with the 3 coins that I've accumulated? I could do a 2. Yeah, let's create a 2 value die and spend a pumpkin to do both the top and the bottom row in Scythe. And one important thing to remember in Scythe is you can just choose the bottom row. You could just go after the stars in Scythe, which is perfectly fine. You have to spend the resource down there and you need a specific die, but you can feasibly do that. All right, turn 5. I feel like we're doing pretty well. Here's another 3 and a 4. If I get a coin, I could copy one of those dice. I don't know if I want to, but I could. You know, we don't have, let's use the 3. Oh, this is, okay, this is interesting. So if I use the 3 here, I can put the 4 there, which is good, but I kind of need the 3 over here in Scythe. Yeah, let's do it in Scythe. Put the 3 there, cross that off, and get a, so I spend a coin, I get a pumpkin, and I also get a star. So I've used the 3. I need to use the 4 somewhere. I can't use it in Charterstone without manipulating that die, so I need to put it over here in Euphoria, and that gives me another star. All right, turn 6. A pair of 5s. Ooh, this is an interesting choice because a pair of 5s, I could use a single 5 to cross off both 5s over here in Euphoria, but it would knock me out of the running of getting all 6 stars. So I need to think about that a little bit. 5 over here is interesting. I don't have a 5 filled in Charterstone. 5 over here is also interesting. It gives me a coin over there, which I need over here. Yeah, I might actually do this. This might be ill-advised. But I'm going to put a 5 here, write down the 5 there, I get a coin. I'm then going to use a 5 over here, I get a heart, and I spend a coin to get a star. So I gained the heart, I spent that coin. And I still have, so now I now have 2 hearts, and if I have a pair, I can spend 2 hearts to copy one of those dice. But, which I actually, yeah, order of operations doesn't allow me to do it here. Hey, George. Hope you're doing well. George is popping in to say hi. Hope you're doing well too, George. You know, I think I'm just going to leave it. I'll leave it. Hopefully I'll roll low here. I need a 4. I need 4s and 2s and 3s. There is a 6 and a 3. I had that earlier. With this set of dice, you don't necessarily want the same thing over and over again. But the 6 could go here. I could complete Scythe, which isn't terrible. Let's go ahead and do that. Oh, and I could put the 3 over here. So let's use the 6, cross off a heart, gain a pumpkin. I now have, and I've completed Scythe. So I don't have to worry about Scythe at all anymore. I don't need to create new dice necessarily. For the 3, I could manipulate it into something that I need in Euphoria. I could also use it over here. I could also use it to cross off those 2 3s, which is probably a good idea at this point in the game. Why don't I do that? I'll use the 3 to cross off that 3 and that 3 and gain 2 stars from Charterstone. 2 more rolls. Let's get some low numbers. Those aren't low numbers. That's a 6 and a 5. Alrighty. Well, 6 and a 5 is 6 and a 5. 6 and a 5 is 6 and a 5. 6 and a 5 is 6 and a 5. 6 and a 5 is 6 and a 5. 6 and a 5 is 6 and a 5. 6 and a 5 is 6 and a 5. 6 and a 5 is 6 and a 5. 6 and a 5 is 6 and a 5. 6 and a 5 is 6 and a 5. 6 and a 5 is 6 and a 5. 6 and a 5 is 6 and a 5. 6 and a 5 is 6 and a 5. 6 and a 5 is 6 and a 5. 6 and a 5 is 6 and a 5. 6 and a 5 is 6 and a 5. 6 and a 5 is 6 and a 5. 6 and a 5 is 6 and a 5. 6 and a 5 is 6 and a 5. 6 and a 5 is 6 and a 5. 6 and a 5 is 6 and a 5. 6 and a 5 is 6 and a 5. 6 and a 5 is 6 I could still get another heart or another star from Euphoria using that 6 or the 5, which would be okay. I could also use the 5 over here to get that. So I think I will do this. I'll put the 6. I'll put the 6 here. Here. I'll put it here. That'll take me up to 10. That'll give me a star. I'll now use the 5 to cross off this 5 and get another star. All right, final roll. I don't even know what I want at this point. A 1, a 4, a 2, a 6 and a 2. 2 is a star. Yeah, 2 is a star. That's fine. But it's going to make these a little difficult. So what should I do here? So I might be able to do a little manipulation. So if I put the 6, say I put the 6 right here. No, I need to use the 2 first. Yeah, this is the tricky thing. If I use the 6 here, I can get a pumpkin to then put a 2 here, but by then I've passed up the opportunity to get the star. So it's a question of what's more important. So I can get a star from here using the 2, but then the 6 can't do anything. I would just get a resource. Actually, that might benefit me in this circumstance. So I will use the 2 here to get another star. The 6 now I cannot use. And so the 6 instead becomes a resource of my choice. It will become a coin. I will turn that coin into a one value die and cross off another crate from Charterstone. Not terrible. I'll turn the camera up here and I'll show you the final game state. So what we ended up with, oh, I'm very short now. I ended up with a completed Scythe. That's great. Well done there. Euphoria, not like some pairs were rolled, but not at exactly the best time. And then Charterstone, not bad for Charterstone. I mean, I had a round where I rolled much better for Charterstone, only ended up with 5 stars. So having 4 there is totally fine. All right, thank you so much for watching live. If you're watching live or watching in the future and playing along in the future, and I will be back tomorrow to play round 2, which will be, let's see, it'll be Wingspan, My Little Scythe, and Pendulum is what I've set up for tomorrow. All right, take care. Have a great day, and maybe I'll see you live on YouTube or on Facebook tomorrow on the Stegmaier Games Facebook page at 10 o'clock St. Louis time. Maybe I'll see you then. Take care. Bye.